Good morning. Then I just take over. My name is Gernot Böge. I'm from Fiber, from Germany, and this is my colleague Vera Böhner. I should have named her first because, of course, ladies first. My first time in Norway, so pleasure to be here, and looking forward for the today event, and also we have tomorrow a meeting where we go deeper into Norway, digital twin and digitization affairs. Good. Top right, open APIs for open minds. This is one of our top mottos. It's data exchange, it's APIs, it's technology, but it's a lot more. And often we get the question, what is fiber? And fiber is quite a lot, and it's not so easy to summarize. Here's some figures. Just, I think you get the presentations afterwards, so you don't have to take notes. Just, it's software, it's components, it's a community, it's members, it's iHubs. As far as I know, we are working also to have an iHub here. It's impact stories, it's developers, it's data models for standardized data exchange. So it's really a lot of things, and it's hard to explain in 10 minutes. So I will just go fast through, and we will be here the whole day, me and Vera, and so Vera and me. And so if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask us. Fiverr provides a basis for development of smart solutions. So we had the word digital twin several times. This is what we basically do. A digital twin is a representation of a real object in a digital world, and we work with it for hospitals in Norway, or for smart cities, or many different use cases in industry. But basically it's three elements. It's detecting the context in the real world, sending it to some we call it digital twin representation, deliver it to processing engines to analyze and monitor, to let AI or machine learning algorithms run, update something, the digital twin representation, and I always call it the reactive cycle, because it's always going back and forth. So it's never stopping. Often it's new input, processing, results, going back, presenting it to other systems. So this is our digital twin representation, and yeah, this is what we do. And if you need digital twins, I think you should have a look at Fiverr. Good. Digital twin is not a fixed definition. So depending on the context or the situation where you are, you have different definitions, and we make it a combination of this. A digital twin is a replica of an asset. Context is a sum of different assets in a digital realm, and digital twins are also important for exchanging data, not for only holding and having data, but to exchange it with others. For that, we provide components and standards for APIs, open APIs for open minds, to exchange data, and we have also smart data models to describe data in the same way, because if you have different regions, as I've seen on the map in Norway, it's good to describe data the same way, that you can exchange, and you don't have to always prepare and work on the data to clean data, but to, in the best case, describe it in the same way, and then you can just interoperate. So it's good to exchange data with the same way of describing it. And it's also standards for the data exchange. It's our NGSI, we call it Next Generation Service Interface, in a linked data version these days, for really exchanging data in an efficient way. Good. We are supporting organizations in their transformation. And as I've learned, here's a lot of transformation going on. First, you can start small. It's open source software, it's free. You can just start in a weekend with some students or school pupils, or whoever can just make a simple project and work on a vertical, like putting a sensor in your doorway, or measuring the temperature in your garden. You can start small and working in a vertical solution. Then you grow bigger, more sensors, more use cases, and then you want to interoperate with others. So then smart data models come into place, that you have the data described and stored the same way as others, so then you can just combine them and work on them together. We support open innovation, that all this happens secure, and in the end we are enabling the data economy, that you do not only have data, but in the best case you can also make some business out of it, so that you have some fun with it and not do it for the good alone. Of course you can combine it. Good. For that we have a reference architecture. You can see this in many different flavors. I think this is for the smart cities. because this is one of our core domains. We have software in blocks. I always say in the south we measure the context, we digitize the real world. This can be cameras that are interpreted, this can be robots, this can be sensors. They get digitized and put into our central components, the fiber context broker. This is our data hub that takes in the context, brings it to other systems, takes back the result, and it's really the data hub where the data lives and gets provided to others. But it's not only from sensors, but it's also from different systems. If we had this health system, of course it can be the hospital operations system that provides data. What is the service plan of the nurses? So this can be also integrated into the digital twin. And then you have the data in the hub. You can bring it into processing engine where you can run machine learning algorithms or AI, big topic these days. And the results get back into the context broker and can be then either be displayed on a sign on the road or can be sent to another system as this reactive circle always going round and round and round. Good. On the right side, we also have important things, data sharing. It's about data spaces, new components to not only have this in your organization or with your friendly companies, but you can also participate in data spaces, exchanging data with maybe people you do not know. And for this, we have some components. We can speak about it in the lunch workshop if you want to learn more. This is not the time for it. And this is an evolution path, as the presentation is also mentioned. First, you start small in your area, in your organization, and you measure things, you process, like for example, you control your heating. If the temperature is too high, you put it off, and so it's small. Then you start to integrate different use cases. It's the heating, it's the locking system of your doors, and maybe other use cases in your realm or in your organization. And then if you grow further and the evolution goes on, you start to exchange data with companies you don't even know, cross-country, cross-domain, or many different use cases thinkable. This is not only because we have fun doing this, because it's also European initiatives. So there's data legislation, you know, Data Acts, Data Governance Act, Open Data Directive, GDPR, and I haven't read them all. And there are these common European data spaces initiatives started by the European Commission. I think it's 12 or 14. And we are engaged in 5 of them. I'm personally in mobility. We have tourism. So this is an initiative from the European Commission to start this data sharing initiatives, these data spaces, to bring them to life. And there was a preparatory action only 1 year. There was done some groundwork, and now there's the deployment action to bring them to life and to install them. Below, there are some coordination bodies, European Data Innovation Board, Data Space Support Center, and down there, there's technical infrastructure, DOME, HPC, simple standards. Not the time now to talk about it in details, and of course, there's FIWARE. So it is an initiative highly driven from the data strategy from Europe. So this should become standard, and it will be more and more driven into the business, so it might become even mandatory. I'm engaged in the battery passport project, and there is regulation that will make such things mandatory, so you have to deal with it. Good. I mentioned there were 12 or 14, I have to count them, projects, and there's one for smart communities, and there's an open call. So if you are interested dealing with such things, and they have been prepared in the blueprint, so there is a blueprint of software stack that you can use to start in these data space initiatives and to get used to it and to try it out. There's a program with open calls for smart communities towards development. It will be co-funded by the European program. It's to create large-scale cross-sectoral data space. You can read it. And it's trying out, getting accustomed to it. It's a project funded, partially funded, and you can apply for this if you're interested, so you know you have the opportunity to not only get close to the topic, but maybe get even partially funded. Good. So there is some more details. 10 to 12 pilots searched for. I think 2 countries must be in there, so it cannot be only one. I'm just a replacement here for Chandra, so it's not my core domain. And the details are there. So if you're interested, so it's nice try to get in contact, so part of the money of your efforts can be refunded, and this is always helpful. And there are 3 rounds of calls during 2024. That's it, I think, for my 10 minutes. Just one remark. If you are interested in fiber, and the best opportunity to learn about fiber is come to our summit. It's in September, it's in Naples. Nice city, nice location, directly by the sea, if the volcano does not go off. Let's see. And so if you want to learn more about fiber, this is the best place. All experts are there. There's trainings, there is presentations, there is everything there. So if you might combine in September a nice stay in the Mediterranean area, this might be a welcome opportunity. So here are the details. Here are links for it if you're interested, if you get the presentation presented, and there you find all the details. So I'm finished here. I will be in the workshop in the lunch break. So there we can have flexible, either concrete questions, or I have a presentation prepared. So let's make it dynamic. And I hand over to whom, I think. Who is it?
Thank you.
Welcome.